good evening.
Hello, teacher.
Okay, so are you now ready for the class?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Did you open the book?
Yes.
All right. So I want you to finish the exercise B. So there are 8 signs, okay, in part A that you need to give 2 suggestions for each one. Okay, so I want you to finish this one before we check, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so kindly read. Okay, kindly read the one that you made,
You might
Lawrence.
you might see this one on the items or the box. You may see this one in the wood or the beach. You could see this one in the park or the restaurant. You probably see this one in the national park or the roadside. Perhaps you can see this one in someone's house or garden. Maybe you can see this one in the car or roller coaster. You might see this one in the museum or show. You may see this one on the riverside or lake.
Okay. Okay. Do you have questions, Lawrence?
No.
Okay. So the first sign, you can actually see it on a beach or at a campsite. And the second sign, you can see this in a museum or in an art gallery. Okay, so the third picture, you can see it on an airplane or in a taxi. Or the fourth picture, okay, so you could actually see it on an aluminum can or on a plastic bottle. Okay,
Okay.
and the fifth picture, you might see it at a construction site or in a factory. And I mean yes, the sixth picture, you can see it in a hotel room and at a campsite. And the seventh picture, you can see it in a park or on a sidewalk. And the last picture, you can see it in a place of worship in someone's home. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So for grammar focus, listen to this audio, Lawrence, before we proceed to answering the exercise. Discussion first before the exercise.
Okay.
All right. So permission, obligation, and prohibition. Okay. For permission, you can camp here. You are allowed to take off your shoes. So can and are allowed to. So these are the example for having a permission. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, for example, he's allowed to write letters. He can exercise every day. Okay? And for obligation, so you have to camp here. You've got to take off your shoes. So that's your obligation. You have to or you've got to. Okay? And for prohibition, here, you can't camp here. You aren't allowed to take off your shoes. So you're not allowed. it means that you are these are prohibited, so you're not allowed to do such things, okay, in a particular place. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so for exercise A, match these school rules with a correct sign. Okay, and we will check right after. So you can type in the letters in here, okay,
Okay.
and we will check right after.
Okay.
All right. So for number 1, lock your bikes in the bike rack. So your answer is letter F. Okay. No eating or drinking in the classroom. All right. No playing ball in the hallway. Keep the classroom door closed. Okay. No listening to music. Throw trash in the waste basket. No cell phones. Turn out the lights when leaving. Okay. Do you have questions, Lawrence?
No.
Okay, so let us now proceed to exercise B. Use the language in the grammar box, okay, to take turns talking about each sign, okay? So for example, the first sign means you aren't allowed to eat or drink in the classroom. So that's how you say it, okay? Yes, I think you're right. And the second one means you have to, okay? So you can start uh, from the second word or sign, okay? So you can
Okay.
use the language, language in the grammar box, okay?
Okay.
All right, and we will check right after. So you need to write 7, okay? You start from the second picture or the second sign, all right?
Okay.
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 All right, so kindly read number 2.
Yes, I think you're right. And the second one means you'll have to turn out the lights.
Okay, and the third one.
And the third one means you can't listen to music.
In the classroom. Okay,
Okay.
and the fourth one.
I think the fourth one is means you've got to keep the classroom door closed.
Okay, next.
The fifth one is means you aren't allowed to cell phone.
You're not allowed, or you aren't allowed to use cell phone inside the classroom. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Next one. And next.
And the sixth one is means you have to lock your bikes under the bike rack.
Okay, next.
The last one is mean. I think the seventh one is means you can't throw trash out the waste basket.
The correct answer is you have to throw. So you have to throw. Okay. All right. Next, Lawrence.
That the last one is means you can't play the ball.
You can't play the ball in the hallway. In the hallway, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so do you have any questions, Lawrence?
No.
Okay. So let us now proceed to discussion. All right. So rules and regulations. For exercise A, how many rules can you think of for each of these places? So on an airplane, in a library, in an art museum, in a movie theater, on a bus or subway, or at work. Okay, so here, for example, on an airplane, you have to wear your seatbelt when the plane is taking off and landing. So I want you to write uh, 5. Okay, so for these 5 places, so you need to write, okay?
Okay.
So you need to write rules. Or, yes, in as much as you can, or in as depends. It depends on you if how many rules you can write in one place. Okay, but I need you to write for these 5 places. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, so on an airplane, you have to wear seatbelt. You can't bring sharp objects on board. You've got to turn off all electronic devices during takeoff and landing. So for in the library, kindly read, Lawrence.
In the library, you have to be quiet. In an art museum, you can't run there. In a movie theater, you can't speak loud. On the bus or subway, you can't eat there. At work, you can't late.
You can't
Late.
be late. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that, Lawrence. So, in a library, you can't talk loudly, so you need to be quiet. You can borrow books for a certain amount of time. You aren't allowed to use your cell phone. So in an art museum, you can't touch the exhibits. You can't make noise. You're not allowed to take flash pictures. And in a movie theater, you have to throw away your trash after the movie. So you have to turn off or silence your cell phone. You can't talk loudly. You're allowed to sit anywhere you'd like. So on a bus or subway, you have to wait until passengers exit before you enter. You aren't allowed to play loud music. You can't take pictures out the windows, okay? You have to have a valid pass or exact change for the fare. And for our at work, you have to wear a uniform. You have to arrive on time. You aren't allowed to sleep. You can make personal call sometimes. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So, here. What do you think these rules exist? Have you ever broken any of them? What happened?
Okay.
All right. So, why do you think these rules exist?
Some people will don't know these rules.
Okay, so some people doesn't know doesn't know these rules or don't know these rules. So have you ever broken any of them?
No, I haven't.
Okay, no, I haven't. Okay, so for listening, sign language. Okay, so listen to the conversations or to three conversations about driving. Check if it's true or false for each statement. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, number one, kindly read.
The man hasn't had a parking ticket lately.
Okay, so the correct answer for this is true. Next, I mean false. I'm sorry. Next, Lawrence.
Parking isn't allowed there during working hours.
Okay, and the right answer for this is true. Next, Lawrence.
The fine for parking is $16.
So it's false. Number two, kindly read, Lawrence.
The woman is driving faster than the speed limit.
Okay. And next,
There are other cars in her lane.
next.
The lane is reserved for buses and taxis.
Okay. And number three.
The other drivers are flashing their lights.
Okay. Next.
is driving with his lights on.
Okay, next.
The other drivers are giving him a warning.
Okay. So do you have questions, Lawrence?
No.
Okay. So for exercise B, listen again and which of the drivers did something wrong. Okay? So I want you to write this on here. So the answers, all of the answers I want you to write in here and include also their violation. Okay?
Okay.
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 So, which of the drivers did something wrong?
She's on the wrong lane.
Alright, in fact, the right answer is all the drivers did something wrong, Lawrence. Okay, the first one, or the driver one, parked in the wrong place. Okay? The driver 2 was driving on the wrong lane. And the driver 3 was speeding but slowed down. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. So, let me just write this one. Okay. So, do you have questions, Lawrence?
No.
No questions?
No.
Okay. And since we don't have enough time, Lawrence, we will continue tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Do you have questions?
No.
Okay. So thank you so much, and you may have a very good evening, Lawrence. Goodbye.
Goodbye.